The best places to survive an all-out nuclear war. The world can be a scary place, and the scariest part of all is that it could end any moment. The US and Russia still have thousands of nuclear warheads with each other's names on them. So if you want to live long enough to make friends with the giant radioactive cockroaches, you're gonna need somewhere to duck and cover. That's why we're bringing you the best places to survive a nuclear war. Number 1 on the list is an ironic place to ride out the coming nuclear war. It's inside a nuclear missile silo. A company in Kansas called Luxury Survival Condo is refitting decommissioned Atlas nuclear missile silos into luxury underground apartments. Swanky, aren't they? For just $3 million, you'll get a whole floor and enough freeze-dried food, purified water, and filtered air to last you at least 5 years. What could be more luxurious than that? Just don't ask about the view. Okay, now what if you want to live long enough to see the nuclear winter, but don't have $3 million? Well, do you have 79 cents? Because that's all you need to gain access to our number 2 Doomsday domicile, the Moscow Metro. Of the Moscow Metro system's 229 stations, 78 are buried deep underground, up to 279 feet. The system was intended to serve as a ready nuclear fallout shelter for many of Moscow's 12 million Muscovites. While Russia is still busily building even more blast shelters, the Moscow subway is the only one that comes with a self-delivering food supply. Subway dogs. Well, those options might be good if you're very rich or very poor, but what if you're just a regular old congressman? Wouldn't you like a subterranean lair to hide in while a nuclear inferno melts your constituency into glass? Then our number 3, the Greenbrier Resort, has just the accommodation you seek. Nestled in the town of White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia, the Greenbrier was the fallback choice for America's legislature and their mistresses from 1961 to 1992. The Greenbrier features accommodation for 1,100 underground guests, a 25-ton blast door, a TV studio for keeping the plebs informed, top-of-the-line Cold War life support systems, and room service. Is all this troglodyte talk starting to make you feel claustrophobic? In that case, unzip your hazmat suit and head south to our number 4 least hotspot, New Zealand. While the US, Russia, Pakistan, North Korea, and the rest of the nuclear knucklehead club are all incinerating each other in the Northern Hemisphere, New Zealand will be floating happily in the South Pacific. New Zealand has no targets for nuclear destruction, no nuclear power plants, lots of room to roam, and all the kiwi fruit, kiwi birds, and kiwi people you can eat. Plus, since seasons are reversed in the Southern Hemisphere, logically, nuclear winter means permanent summer in New Zealand, right? What's that you say? You're allergic to kiwis? Not a problem, because our number 5 fission-free vacation spot is even more remote. These are the Pitcairn Islands. With all the Southern Hemisphere benefits of New Zealand, but none of the Lord of the Rings role-playing, the Pitcairn Islands offer a private hideout far from any glow-in-the-dark refugees. The Pitcairn Islands make such a good hiding place that in 1790, the mutineers of the HMAV Bounty made this spot their home. The islands have no airport, no seaport, and only 45 residents. If seclusion is what you seek, the Pitcairn Islands got that in spades. Unfortunately, there's one other thing the islands have in spades too, and you're not gonna like it. I am court-ordered to inform you that 1/3 of the men on the Pitcairn Islands were convicted of sexual crimes against minors. If a bunch of touchy-feely Pitcairnians aren't your ideal post-apocalyptic pals, then there's another place you can hide your head, along with pretty much everyone who ever lived. At number 6, it's the Vault. The Vault, located nearly 700 feet deep into the side of Granite Mountain, Utah, provides a permanent, climate-controlled habitat for millions of rolls of microfilm. The film contains 50 billion pages of family trees, so you'll have reading material to enjoy while multicellular life is re-evolving outside. Who would want to cram all the world's genealogical data behind an apocalypse-proof 14-ton blast door? The Mormons, of course! So long after the last bicycle has been melted into the sidewalk, you'll be sitting pretty in the vault, converting everyone's dead relatives to the LDS Church. Fun forever! What's that you say? You don't want to be stuck on an island with child molesters or in a vault with Mormons? Missile silos give you the willies? Moscow's subway smells like pee and you're allergic to kiwis? Shh, you're a tough customer indeed. Well, not to worry. That's why we've got number 7. I've got an island. I've got a vault. I've got a Svalbard Global Seed Vault. Hey! Inconveniently located on the Norwegian island of Spitsbergen, near the town of Longyearbyen, in the Arctic Svalbard archipelago, the Seed Vault will keep our cultivars cold come Ragnarok or high water. While the world outside might be tomahawks and ICBM's 3 Mjolnirs to Valhalla, you'll be sitting pretty under 400 feet of sandstone and permafrost, plus all the irreplaceable sunflower seeds you can eat. But TriviaList, I've seen the road in Mad Max. The world after nuclear Armageddon will be ruled by marauding gangs of cannibals. And I want to be the first in line at the people picnic when the atomic dust settles. Okay, then you'll love number 8 on our list, a country club community at sea known as The World. The World is a 43,000-ton, 600-foot-long cruise ship whose residents live on board full-time while the ship circumnavigates the globe. The population of 200 plump aristocrats is supported by 280 sweaty laborers below deck. Since you'll be at sea, you won't get vaporized in a nuclear blast. And since you're already on a boat, you won't drown when the ice caps melt. Well, that's fine and dandy, you say, but I can't afford a suite on a luxury liner. And what will we eat at sea? Not to worry, both of those problems solve themselves. All you have to do is get a job below deck, and when things go all Lord of the Flies, just take charge and eat the rich. In a matter of days, your luxury cruise liner will be a floating pirate fortress. Then just make like Dennis Hopper in Waterworld and set about raiding half-toasted port cities for whatever food, fuel, and women you may find. Piece of cake. We've covered almost every place on Earth by now, which is why number 9 is the safest place yet. It's your own shelter in the stars. It's the International Space Station. While Kim Jong-un is playing permanent shadow puppets with a plutonium molecule, you'll be slurping space ice cream and pooping in a bag. The ISS weighs 460 tons, zips along at 17,000 miles per hour, and has a crew of 3 to 6 astronauts. Once you've finagled your way on board, the hard part is over. Now you can stay in space as long as your food and water hold out, while watching mushroom cloud fireworks go off below. By the way, consumables last longer with fewer astronauts on board. Airlock! The only problem you're likely to face is that with Cape Canaveral and Kazakhstan out of action, the ISS's 250-mile-high orbit will degrade without regular rocket boosts. That gives you about 15 months before ISS falls out of the sky. So before that happens, crawl into a Soyuz capsule and pull the ripcord. 3 hours later, you'll be floating happily in the ocean, having missed the whole atomic party. Now that you got your bug-out options lined up, you'll need entertainment after the apocalypse. So be sure to subscribe to the TriviaList for more Top 10 tomfoolery. Later!